Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on third down. Third play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
So here come the Saints now for their first drive. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a fourth-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Cousins. He finds Robinson. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Third and short yardage. Cousins. And Robinson with a big catch. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Cousins on first down. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard. Not necessarily.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Rashad Penny, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Doesn't take any great analysis on my part. It's been pretty obvious. Last couple plays, these guys have been going in the wrong direction.
Offensive line overwhelmed on those plays. Now, I think it's safe to say going to the air here on third. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The throw over the middle taken in. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. To throw, Cousins. It's complete to Robinson. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Eckler. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Let's go. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That's complete to Robinson. And he'll be taken down, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Tight down. There you go.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Even with the good gain, I thought they might accept that one.
Yeah, you thought maybe they'd go with the downs as opposed to the yardage. So if you're taking the yardage now, 2nd and less than 5, that tells me you feel good about how your offense is working.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. There to stop him was Darius Leonard. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
The running game's played a huge part in getting them down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Cook's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Jared Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them. That
one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Jones fights free yet again. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
2 yards. 1st down, Philadelphia.
On 1st and 10, Fields. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Kenny Golladay, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. So here are the Saints to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll run here with Eckler. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Check.
Running on first down, Eckler. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 44-yard line. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's now 10 of 10 throwing the ball here to start the game. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a man open down the middle of the field. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Cousins. This is caught by Robinson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards there and a first down. From the red zone now, Cousins. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now Cousins. Cook's got it. Touchdown Saints. Jared Cook with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have come to halftime and what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. And that game tied 21-all in the second quarter. A lot of offense there. From there, we'll head to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Packers. Drew Lock throwing the football well. He has 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And they trail the visiting Ravens in that one at halftime. Baker Mayfield with 3 touchdown passes. In the game you're watching, it's been Kirk Cousins with a hot hand in the first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. It's Eckler again. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with third and just a yard. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I think there's your best running play over your best blocker.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. On the ground, it's Eckler, and very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 44, Cousins. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 36. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Robinson's got it. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he finds Cook. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ito Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game being on second half no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, mentioned they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This will be caught by Brown.
That's it, baby. We got
A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Fields. Got a man. It's Brown. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. Badgley's kick is good. And that will finish off this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here live in New Orleans, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. All of a sudden, they have quite a bit of breathing room. This was a 1-score game, but touchdowns on their last 2 drives, and now comfort is here, so to speak.
It certainly is for them. I've been in this situation before on the flip side of this. And all that's going on there is a little bit of finger pointing. Hey, what's going on? How can we stop them? Can someone make a play to try and stop this momentum?
Well, they're going to be ball hawking because they need a turnover on that other side. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The Saints 1st down there on a gain of 11. Going on the ground with Eckler. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From just shy of midfield, Cousins. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. Here is Eckler. And the block, quick strip, the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They had mistake-free football prior.
After review of the play,
The running on the field is reversed.
Eckler, they run left side.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And this is Cook with the grab. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
The Saints on third down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Cousins now. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Give him 6 yards in the first down. First down, here's Cousins. He finds Robinson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion. So here's now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that, going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields taken in by the tight end Doyle. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
I can't believe they even let you play.
On first down, Fields over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Off play action. Fields nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Looking to throw. Fields. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't matter. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Oh, set.
First and 10.
Now a give running left is Eckler. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Once more, here's Eckler. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. Now they'll have it first and goal following that gain of 17. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. Smith trying to run for it. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. From 3 yards out, and the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
They're all finished in that game in Cleveland. And it was the Browns that wound up winners in that one. Drew Lock, he was on fire. 5 touchdown passes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw. Fields. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for New Orleans, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin.